Have you ever seen any stickers on my back? Do me a favor.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
Ugh, that took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linney experienced and what he saw. Seems this won't produce a particularly effective rebuttal. Seems this won't produce a particular... Seems this won't produce a particularly effective rebuttal. According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey. Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth. Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent! Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Oh, wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around. Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? Paimon thinks there's something off. That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played. To think think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it? My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if... That's right! This means the same clue.
To think you'd use such lot. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The deceased's name is Cap.
Huh? That can't be...
Oh!
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be... It would have been tough for both people. The sound we heard may have come from a... No one entered or left. Linny was not in the tunnel.
What's wrong, Traveler?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's and—
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the...
On to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel. The sound we heard may have... The deceased's name is... The
Transformed into... Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may... Guards, please step into the lounge and examine...
We are still examining the item, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from...
But it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was...
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination...
the unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That would... Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
The deceased's name is Cowl, Linny's. Now it seems like the hook rope. The rope that strung the water from the primordial sea should all. I remember there was something else. Lynette was in the magic box. Lynette was in the magic box on stage. The rope that strung the water tank. The water from the primordial. I remember there was.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water seed inside it, would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
It seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstance.
Magic, it often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. There go! Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But...
sorry for the interruption.
Wait.
that'll teach you to...
Where should I begin? Here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny...
Hey! No wonder you look familiar. Everything pretty clear now,
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Mistakenly, the
has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before...
Me with some dignity.
Wow! Look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowl, selected his neck. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowl thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the...
Hello.
He poured the water from the primordial sea into a
sorry, na buffer
balloon
ho
during the preparation of the magic box, and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the magic box's door when bringing the young woman. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, realizing that there was trouble, Cowl entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked conscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately. This case, at least, can be handed over to the oratories to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of it.
Experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now?
But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth?
That's right. Back when our parents to survive, I took my sister. To my surprise, before long.
So you went from—
That was how we felt, but he would come.
Hey there! What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do— Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now.
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navi.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Well, sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important— Anyway, it would just be a meal, so—
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navi is treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the Court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosu.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
Yeah. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that... Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was—
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if to be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through. Where they're what?
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like,
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't—
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching— Alright, I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can find—
that might work.
Valid point. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she—
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know—
Huh? Paimon—
was—
No, it's fine.
Alright.
Is that so? If we're all finished eating—
Yeah, we're— Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so normal. You know, like you.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with—
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing to—
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again.
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Busted.
Eyes on me!
Let's begin.
Have a safe trip.
Things are about to get dicey.
Now.
Barbados, guys.
Gotcha.
Get a little chilly.
Quietly now.
To ashes!
Here comes
Not bad. Stay cool. Face your guilt.
Swear by my sword!
Going easy on me?
Right. Gotcha. The rain won't slow me down.
Power that ended Python!
Quietly now.
They say there's nothing new under the sun, but somehow a picnic in the warm sunshine never gets old.
Busted. Barbados, guide us. Things are about to get dicey. Gotcha.
Not bad.
Blasted!
Ah, this wasn't locked. How convenient. Ah, this wasn't locked. How convenient.
Eyes on me!
A moment, please. Stay cool. Face your guilt.
All unclaimed articles should be turned in. So, neither of us saw anything here, right?
Wind, hear me!
Gotcha! A chest full of valuables and a trove of potential clues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Busted.
Ah, this wasn't locked. How convenient. All unclaimed articles should be turned in. So, neither of us saw anything here, right? I'd take it if I were you. I'm sure it'll come in handy. All unclaimed articles should be turned in. So, neither of us saw anything here, right? All unclaimed articles should be turned in. So, neither of us saw anything here, right? All unclaimed articles should be turned in. So, neither of us saw anything here, right?
Quietly now. Busted. Here comes the catch.
I once considered keeping some pets in my office, but soon gave up on the idea. It's just not right to keep small animals where they won't be able to see the sun.